What's up guys, Scopetactics here with another World of Tanks tank review. And today we're looking at the VII Russian heavy tank, the KV-3. As always, let's have a quick look through the stats. So it has 1400 HP, which is only 50 points less than the VII heavy tank with the most HP, the Black Prince, which is obviously the British VII heavy tank. It is neck and neck with the Tiger at 1400 apiece, and all the other tanks have less hit points. So it's a fairly bulky tank with quite a lot of HP. It's just shy of 69 tons when fully configured and fitted with equipment. Has a decent engine. That 32 kilometers an hour you may or may not reach in most situations. In my experience, it has been not sluggish, but not the most maneuverable of tanks. As you can see, it only has 18 degrees of hull traverse a second and 22 degrees per second of turret traverse, which compared to the IS, if you think of the IS, which is the Russian VII counterpart, the tank sacrifices, well, the KV-3 that is, sacrifices maneuverability and speed for armor. They have the same gun more or less, so you don't need to worry about that. It's more or less what you prefer. Now the tank has 122mm of frontal hull armor, and that is not easy to get through. It has 90mm at the side and the rear. As you can see, side, well, the side's nothing special, it's all flat. The rear, however, is pretty bouncy. This exhaust, I think it is here, can be very bouncy. In fact, I'm not sure what that is. But that is well rounded, and you will be surprised how many shots you can bounce off your rear with that thing. The turret, 130mm at the front, 115 at the side and rear. As you can see, it's very rounded. But what I should point out is the gun mantle, or mantlet, whatever you call it, is probably a weak spot. Even though it is 130mm thick, I have had tanks go through here surprisingly often. Now it isn't, well, it is quite a big target, but there is a good chance they'll hit either side and maybe bounce off or hit the rounded bit here. There is no chance really they're going to hit your cupola, because that's very well rounded. But if they do try and go through the front of your armor, your lower plate is fairly big and flat. But I've had a few tanks go right through this flat part here. So yeah, if you're looking to take out a KV-3, aim there. Probably more likely to go through there than a lower plate. Depends what you can see, really. Anyway, that's enough waffling about the armor. Let's get onto the gun. I'll bring up the research tree quickly. Now, stock grind I should go over first. When you're stock, you will start off with the T-150's turret, which is 100mm all round and is fairly boxy, and the 107mm gun. Now, there are people who like to play this tank with the 107mm. There are also people who like to play with a 100mm. I don't see why you'd use either of these guns, to be honest, because if you bring them up, I will give them all a fair shot. Actually, I should bring up these two as well, just so you can see the difference between what you get in for 19,000 XP. First of all, the 222mm. All you get in for 19,000 XP is 0.8 more rounds a minute. If that's worth it to you, go for it. I like to elite every tank I drive, so you know, you're probably gonna have to unlock it in one of the later tanks anyway. I mean, it's on all the other tanks, for God's sake. Why wouldn't you? Yes, the 107mm, which you will be familiar with if you've driven the T150, sorry. Fairly decent rate of fire, not as good as the 100mm. Lackluster penetration at tier 7. Decent damage though. Pretty bad accuracy and a long aiming time. I can't recommend this gun. To me, if you really wanted to play it, it would have to come down to either the top 122mm or the 100mm. I don't think this tank is manoeuvrable enough to use the 100mm effectively. I was a big fan of the 100mm on the IS-2. I haven't played the IS myself, I've researched it but haven't played it. But I don't think this tank is meant to be played that way personally. By all means try it, but I'd recommend you get the 122mm first. Now the 100mm has a better rate of fire, same penetration, 140 less damage, 0.04 better accuracy, and a better aim-in time. 0.5 better actually. But this tank is a brawler. You need to get in close to use the accuracy of your gun really. And the bad accuracy I mean. I can't recommend that. For me it is all about the 122mm. The problem is you're now at tier 7. You know, the old KV-1S, God bless it, used to have rocked the 122mm, and 175mm penetration was fairly good then, at tier 6. Workable when you're fighting tier 7s. Adequate at best fighting tier 8s. When you're fighting tier 8s often, and tier 9s even, 175mm is going to struggle. Even with premium APCR rounds, you only reach 217mm of penetration. This means the KV-3 can struggle, because even with that penetration, you would need to aim for weak spots most of the time, unless you're up close and can aim at the weak spots closer to you, so they're bigger. But with that accuracy and that aiming time, it's not great. So if you can get around the sides of them, that's all well and good, but the KV-3 isn't the most manoeuvrable tank. So you can see how this tank is coming together to be played. I should quickly just pop back here to mention that when you stock, you will not have the top engine. Maybe that's obvious, but you need it. The tank is so awkward without the top engine. I probably recommend getting this over the gun, to be honest. The 107mm it'll do you okay until you research the turret and the 122mm. So you're looking at about 25, just under 20, just over 24,000 XP for the turret and the gun. You haven't got this research or anything else, do you? If you played the KV-85, you'll already have this research, which is good. Or if you played the IS. But I'd recommend getting the engine as soon as possible. It's only used on the KV-3, but those are the sacrifices you're going to have to make. And if we look at the KV-4, you can see that all of the guns, more or less, are carried over, except the 100mm. And of course the KV-4 gets the long 107mm, which has 10mm better penetration than a premium APCR on the 122 of the KV-3. Okay, that's enough about the gun. Let's move on to equipment. Large caliber tank and ram is pretty much standard. Enhanced gun lay and drive to try and reduce that awful aim-in time down to as quickly as possible. I've opted for improved ventilation. You could probably swap that out for a toolbox or a heavy spall liner. I wouldn't recommend it personally because I like to have that 3.4 second aiming time down as much as possible. As far as crew skills and consumables go, you could probably, once you get preventative maintenance on your driver and get full brothers in arms on your crew, you could forego the fire extinguisher, get a improved combat rations, whatever it is, you could drop the gun lane drive, and you could go with the toolbox or the spall liner while keeping the vents, which will largely give you the same bonuses. Okay, let's go on to crew skills now. Bring up all the crew. So the commander first, as always, get everybody trained in repairs first for a heavy tank. Then you can retrain the commander for 6 cents. And then retrain him in repairs as his second skill, or brothers in arms. Yeah, repairs first, retrain to 6th Sense, then do repairs again, and then retrain into Brothers in Arms. The gunner, repairs first, then snapshot as a second skill. You can go with Brothers in Arms if you want. Personally, I'd probably recommend leaving Brothers in Arms until your 3rd skill, so you can have repairs on everybody, then their personal specialized skills, then Brothers in Arms. Driver, obviously repairs again, that goes without saying. Preventative maintenance is great, clutch braking is great, smooth ride is awesome, off-ride driving is good, controlled impact is less useful because of the speed of the KV-3. You're not really going to be ramming anybody, and it's a fairly heavy tank anyway. I don't really think you need controlled impact. That's just my opinion though. Obviously repairs again. Situational awareness, I really don't think that's worth it. I think that's, I forget which one is which, but the commander has a skill that raises view range as well, and I know both of them together total 5%. I think one is 3% and one is 2%. I forget which is which, but I don't think that they're worth it anymore. So I'd probably go with repairs first, definitely, and then maybe probably situational awareness actually. Or just get Brothers in Arms or firefighting. The loader, everybody knows loader skills suck, so I've gone for repairs first, as you always should. Safe stowage, firefighting, Brothers in Arms. Intuition isn't great, can be handy sometimes, but I probably wouldn't recommend it. Adrenaline rush, very situational. Can be handy if you're under 10% of your HP, but how often are you going to be in that situation before you're dead? I don't know, I've never trained them in it. I don't see why I would really. And the second loader, same as the last. Obviously with the second loader, don't train him in the same skills, because only the loader with the highest training in that skill will take effect. They don't stack. Safe stowage does not. Yeah, they don't stack. The common skills do, so by all means go for them. I'm trying not to be too specific with the perks and skills, because I want you to decide for yourself based on what I think. Anyway, I think that's quite enough of the tank itself. You've got a good idea of how it should be played, what you were to expect from the stats on paper, but as we all know, tanks perform different in game. So without any further ado, let's jump right into a replay. Hey guys, here we are in a standard battle on Fjords, and as I'm looking back at this replay, the KV-3 doesn't seem as slow and sluggish as I believe it to be. As you can see, we've already hit 30 kilometers an hour and it's still climbing. They're just a standard battle going to the south for a change, going right to the edge of the mountain in J5. Got a few other heavy tanks with me. We're top tier, it's looking okay. And as you can see, we're fully kitted out. This was one of my later matches in the KV-3. Haven't finished playing it yet, but I've just been doing so good in it. You know, when in Rome. And there's an M5A1 Stewart there. I think that's the bravest scout I've ever seen. Well, let's see what the KV-3 thinks of him. And one-shotted. I have to apologise for the crosshair in this video. I'm using Kriegschreiber's Mjolnir crosshair, but it doesn't seem to show up well in the replay. Maybe I'll have to stick to the standard one from now on. It is a great crosshair though. Highly recommend it. So as you can see, there are a few heavy tanks up there, and a few from what we've seen is a T-25-2, which I put a shot straight into the front door without any trouble. And there's that weird zoom thing going on there. Put another shot straight into the front of the T-25-2 as he foolishly comes out again. VK's getting in the way a bit. the rate of fire on this gun is pretty damn good, isn't it? I tried to put a shot into the side of the IS-2, but it hits the Tiger P's track as he comes forward a little. T-25-2 gets finished off, and I put one straight into the Tiger P's little hat. Or Commander's cupola, if you want to be specific. Now I come round to try and put one into the IS-2. Succeed. Another big blast into him, and he gets taken out. Now we try and be more aggressive with the Tiger P, putting the pressure on him. T-29's kind of getting in the way here. Aim for the Tiger P's cupola again. Goes straight in, and the T-29 finishes him off. T-29's taking fire from somewhere, probably from the hill. I just try and push past and get through. Looks like the fire could be coming from a Studer Emil. But this tank's not as slow as it lets on. It might only hit 32 kilometers an hour maximum in most places, but it'll hit that, you know, as I said, in most places. So I think we try and help out the Tog here, who's trying to hold off the pass after we take a quick pot shot at the Studer Emil. Didn't want to rush my shot in case that missed, because that would have been very important. CVRL-44, think about it, and then reverse back to go and take a shot. We don't do a big buttload of damage to him, but we do kill him. Now we push up the hill and try to find that Studer Emil, who's probably waiting for us. And lo and behold, there he is. I didn't want to rush my shot there just in case. You know, the accuracy on this gun is not great. And as you can see, it's 9-0, and the T-25-2 on our team is calling us noobs. ARL-V39 there being very cheeky on the hill. See if we can get a shot onto him. We aim for what seems like forever and snipe him. Now this VK gave me quite a lot of problems. As you can see, he went straight through my armor twice. Let's just pause and see where that went through. See, he knew what he was aiming for. He went straight through the front of the flat plate of our tank. Anyway, that VK's got pretty good penetration and a pretty decent gun. I think it's a 75mm. Now all of their tanks are remaining here, so you've got to be very careful. But we've only got 2 tanks left, with 2 tanks down. I'm not being baited around the corner by that guy. And as I'm dealing with these, I think, where the hell is that Jagdpanther? So I'm trying to bait them into coming round, and there's the bloody Jagdpanther. I know I have to aim for him straight away. I bounce him and put a shot straight in. T-150 starts to come round, misses his shot and then pulls back. So lucky I bounced that Jagdpanther. If he's using a 10.5cm gun, that could have easily been 320 HP gone. T-150 tries his luck, got one straight into his hull through his drive wheel, and now shit starts going down. I know the VK is coming round, but I tried to take out the Jagdpanther first, so I aim just past him, take out the Jagdpanther, bounce the VK, and now they're all coming for me. I need to get that VK before he comes around me. Just managed to reload in time. And I actually made a mistake here. That T-20 I thought was the TS6 light tank, or the TS6 medium, I can't remember which, but I was wrong. I didn't realise what kind of bloody gun that thing had. But I reversed back, tried to get the rock behind me, in between me and the T-20. And my driver's dead, but I haven't got time to repair him, another heal him at this point. I know I need to take out the T-20, because he's the last one left. The T-29 mopped him up, and the T-20 is dead. 8 kills and just under 5,000 damage, and it's always nice to say good game at the end of a game like that. So, let's see if we can get a hold of the stats. Well, here we go guys, here are the stats. Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, Fire for Effect, Shell Proof, Duelist, Hand of God, Bruiser, Radley Walters, Steel Wall, Top Gun and High Caliber. There were a few other medals that were omitted from the replay. I think I might have put them here actually. Yeah, Reaper, Sharpshooter, Master Gunner. Not sure why they aren't shown. As you can see, me and the T-29. I'm not sure, I might have still been able to pull it off if a T-29 hadn't have killed the T-34-1, but we never know. We blocked 2,085 damage with our armor, fired 17 shots, hit 17, penetrated 17. We received 16 hits, 9 of which penetrated, 7 of which didn't, so that's almost a 50-50. Yeah, the armor held up pretty well. And for a Russian gun, the accuracy didn't seem to matter, did it? Let's be honest. So yeah, 5k damage gain basically. Not bad at all. So let's jump back to the garage. So there we go guys, that was the KV-3. Or rather that is the KV-3. A fantastic tier 7 heavy tank, which I think is really underrated. You don't see many of them, but when you do see one, watch out. It's probably because it's on the lesser desired Russian heavy tank line. Of course everybody wants the ISs, the IS-3, IS-7, IS-8. But I think there's a lot to be said for the KV-4, the ST-1, and the IS-4. Personally, I don't like the sort of pike nose or the beak that you have on most of the IS tanks. So I desire the IS-4 more than the IS-7. But in the end, I'm going to get them all anyway, hopefully. Anyway, I'm waffling too much. Please let me know feedback in the comments, specifically audio. Is the replay too loud? Am I loud enough? Am I clear enough? Because otherwise I may need to get a new microphone where I can further fine-tune the settings. And if you didn't see my video yesterday, I do need your guys' help for the T95E2. You can get involved with that by either having an account or making an account that has not played World of Tanks for the last 60 days. If you really want to help out, then you can make a new account or give me your email, allow me to recruit you, make a new account and get to a tier 10 where I can watch your progress in the account management window on my account. And I will be offering prizes, I've decided. If one person decided that they wanted to make a new account and grind all the way up to tier 10, I may have a special surprise for them. It may be in the form of some premium time. It may be in the form of a tank for their account. Maybe some gold, maybe some credits, maybe a nice bundle. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But obviously I know that the mistake I made in my previous video talking about the TNT5E2 was, why would you waste your time helping out some random guy on the internet without any incentive? Well, you have an incentive now. Not only would you get in-game rewards, if you have a YouTube channel, I'd be happy to give you a shout out. Subscriber platoons. Well, I want to do subscriber platoons anyway, so by all means, if you watch my videos, add me in game. Send me a few messages if you want to platoon up. Even if you don't have Skype or TeamSpeak or whatever, I'm happy to use the in-game chat. There's platoon speak for that, it's not difficult to type. Well, for me anyway, while we're driving around. If I get enough people interested, team battles would be a good thing. Maybe do some historical battles with subscribers, that could always be fun. They could then be recorded and put up on YouTube, if you want to get your name out there a bit. So yeah, exciting things to come. I'm not going to bullshit like I did last time, excuse my French, but yeah, I have a few other replays planned. Hopefully they won't go to shit. And if you like my Vocaloid Garage, good. It's part of Aslan's mod pack. You can actually download the mod separately, but I can't remember where. In fact, I think tomorrow I'll leave you with a video that shows all my Aslan's mod pack settings. So if you want the exact same configuration as me, I'll go over all my stuff in game. my settings, graphical settings, computer specs, and my Aslan's mod pack selections, and you can play the exact same way as I do. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. But until then, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching my review. I appreciate your time.